Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 books that I picked up this week for New Comic Book Day. But here's the thing, my shop didn't get any Marvel books this week. Instead, I'm going to be talking about books from DC, Image, Boom Studios, and other indie publishers as well. I picked up 11 total issues this week, so you know what that means. One of them did not make this week's top 10 list, and I'm so pumped to talk about these books with you guys, so let's jump right into it. So as always, everyone, just be aware there's definitely going to be spoilers as I begin to talk about this week's top 10 list. I get really excited talking about these issues, and I let some stuff slip up, but I do put a spoiler tag down below in the corner to give you a heads up that a spoiler is about to happen, so be on the lookout for that. And with this issue, this is the one and only that did not make this week's top 10 list, and I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it, but we've got Boom Studios' brand new one. We've got Briar, issue number 1. This is cover A. I was honestly really looking forward to it. I tend to always pick up Boom Studios' brand new series. I usually don't end up finishing them because for the most part, I really don't think a lot of them are all that good. But I was hopeful for this one, and honestly, when I was done reading it, I felt the same way about this one as I did with a lot of the other ones. I really like the artwork. The storytelling really wasn't all that bad, but I'm just not really big into the fairy tales and fantasy stuff, and that's exactly what this one is. So if you're interested in that stuff, you're probably going to like this one as well. So a little bit about it without too many spoilers is we got our main character and she's a princess. It follows one of the fairy tales. She falls asleep for 100 years. She's waiting for her knight in shining armor to give her a kiss and wake her up. But here's the kicker. That doesn't happen. And now the rest of the story is being told from her narration. She doesn't know anything that's going on. She doesn't know this new world. And she doesn't have anyone left from her kingdom. So no one believes who she is and no one even knows who she is. So like I said, the story really isn't that bad. It's just not exactly my thing. Let's talk about it more down below. But now let's jump into that real top 10 list. Oh, and if you do enjoy this video, be sure to smash that thumbs up button, and if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, including my daily YouTube shorts, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and a little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of my videos. And here we go, everyone. Kicking this top 10 list off first, we've got coming in at number 10. This is Image's brand new one. We've got Old Dog, issue number 1. This is cover A. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I picked this one up mainly because I really like spy stuff. I figured it's going to be right up my alley. But this first issue is basically a complete mystery. Almost every single thing is up in the air, and we don't know anything about anyone or the mission or just what's going on in this first issue. Our main character, we know that he did some stuff in the past. He works for a government agency, and now whatever he's done has basically locked him to a desk job or just doing some behind-the-scenes stuff. The mission that he's on, he's just told to just stay there for surveillance, and then all of a sudden, the people that he's working with runs into the mansion, and he has no idea what's going on with that either, and as a reader, neither do we. Some things happen from there. We kind of get left on a bigger cliffhanger, but like I was saying, this first issue, while I am going to continue on with it because I'm really into spy stuff, and I guess as far as a spy series goes, it's cool to have everything up in the air as a mystery. But there's a lot of stuff going on in this first issue that we don't know a single thing about. Definitely check it out if you're into just spy books. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 10 this week, we've got Image's brand new one, Old Dog, issue number 1. Next up at number 9, we've got Image's Stillwater, issue number 15. This is cover A. Folks, I don't know if it's just me, but the series is just not doing it for me anymore, but we're 15 issues deep. I need to see it out to the very end. In the very beginning, when I started reading this series, I thought to myself, where can they possibly go with this series? I really enjoyed those first few issues, maybe up until about issue 5 or 6, and then it got so incredibly boring, in my opinion, that I thought I was going to drop it. But they ended up expanding to the next town over, and that was exactly what I wanted out of this series, just a little something new. They gave us a lot of info on that as well. They started showing some of the other town and just how scared everybody was. But this issue, I found it incredibly boring, but it's coming in at number 9, not because I enjoyed the issue, because like I said, I thought it was very boring, but this series has become the king of cliffhangers. That cliffhanger at the very end, small spoiler here, but once they killed that person officially, and that lady left us on the, this is all my fault, I did this to Stillwater, I need to read the next issue now. That right there is why I'm still reading Stillwater. I think it's a very boring series, but the cliffhangers, they're so good in this one. Chip Zdarsky is killer at that, but overall, I really like Chip Zdarsky as a writer as well. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 9 this week, we have Image's Stillwater, issue number 15. Next up at number 8 this week, we've got Images. Skybound presents After School, episode 3. This is cover A for this one. I actually thought I was going to take this one off my pull list. I really didn't like those first 2 issues, but if you've been following this channel for a while, I'm a huge horror fan. I love Ice Cream Man, I love The Silver Coin, and all those other ones that Image is doing right now. So when they say this one's going to be a horror anthology, I held out hopes, and I was hoping this one was going to turn it around, and honestly, I thought this was a pretty solid issue. So a little bit about it is it kind of had more of a slasher film vibe to it. That's our main character on the front. She doesn't speak, but she's a little girl and she's very intelligent. I'm not going to be getting too in depth with this one because, like I said, it's kind of just like a slasher film. Our main character on the front, she's doing everything in her power to protect her family from an axe murderer. It was a cool little read. I like how she just kind of went about everything in this one, but let's talk about it a little bit more down below. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 8 this week, we've got After School Episode 3. Next up this week at number 7, we've got Images, F This Place, issue number 5. This is the explicit variant for this one. I'm honestly a huge fan of this series, and I think overall they've done such an incredible job with it so far. I am biased. I am a huge horror fan. This one is very campy, though. It reminds me from the series a couple of years ago, Basket Full of Heads. It was from the DC Horror Presents, but that was a very fun one, too, with a little bit of lighthearted dialogue throughout the series as well. This issue, I'm putting it at number 7 because honestly, not a lot of stuff happened in it. If you can recall from the last issue, our main characters, they were in the forest and they're trying to make their way out of it. They see a bunch of monsters, a lot of crazy stuff happens. And this is kind of a follow-up to that issue. Now, I'm not 100% sure if it is the end of the arc, but I think it is. And in this issue, so some spoilers are coming. They do make it out of the forest. They finally make it back to the house. And we find out that there's something in this house that these monsters want. And that's why they're haunting everything around it. I still thought it was a really good issue. Like I said, not a lot of stuff happens in it though, but definitely check this series out if you haven't already done so. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 7 this week. This is Images, F This Place, issue number 5. Next up this week at number 6, we've got AWA's New Think, issue number 4. This is cover A. Now, I'll tell you what, everybody, I haven't really been a fan of this series like at all so far. I did really enjoy the first issue, so I'll say that much, but the second and the third issue, I did not like at all. I didn't like the storytelling, the layout of it, just not for me. This fourth issue, it reminded me a lot more like the first one, and I loved it. I thought they did such a fantastic job, and honestly, it was really eye-opening. So a little bit about it without too many spoilers is we've got people from the past. They're talking about the future. They're saying people in the future, they're going to have this. They're going to have medicine, temples. All these people can come together. Freedom of speech, transportation, all this crazy stuff. And all of a sudden, they do this 180 flip. And someone says something like, so what happens to the people, or what do they do about it? And all this chaos just ensues on the next page. It was crazy. They're saying greed takes over. People want more and more, and they're taking advantage of other people. And like I said, it was a very eye-opening issue because that's exactly what's going on in life right now. We have all this crazy stuff that we just don't really appreciate. Let's talk about this one more down below. I don't want to harp on it too much, but it really was a crazy eye-opening issue in my opinion. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 6 this week. This is AWA's New Think, issue number 4. And now, everyone, we are down to the top 5 issues of the week. So coming in at number 5, we've got Boom Studios, Grimm, issue number 5. This is cover A. I believe this is the end of the arc, and this was a crazy ending. We got left on a nice cliffhanger, and there was a lot of action that happened in this one. We get a lot of info as well, so some spoilers happening. It turns out that our main character, the reason she doesn't know how she died or anything about that is because her dad is Death. That was kind of a little Star Wars moment, like, yes, I am your father type thing. But then from there, tons of action happens. The end shows up. Death doesn't want the end to do anything with her, and just tons of action from there. That's pretty much everything that happened in this issue, so not a lot of actual story building, but we got left on that cliffhanger. We got a lot more info and some really cool action panels as well. So for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 5 this week. This is Boom Studios, Grimm, issue number 5. Next up at number 4, we've got Images, 8 Billion Genies, issue number 5. This is cover A. Now, you guys already know I've been hyping up this series like no other. I absolutely love it. I've been a huge fan of everything so far. The storytelling has been top-notch. I love the artwork as well. And just the world building. They've done such a great job with it. Now, I'm putting number 5 in at number 4, not because I didn't like it or anything like that, but it probably was my least favorite issue so far of the series. The first couple of issues, they're in the bar, they're trying to figure out just how to proceed with life, trying to figure out what their next step is, even if they want to use their wish or not. This one takes place, I think, 8 months into the future, and the whole world is basically destroyed, and they're trying to figure things out from there. So some spoilers coming, but everyone kind of goes off in their separate ways, and there are some little safe havens scattered throughout the planet. I don't know, not a bad issue. I'm excited to see what they do with the next one. Let's talk about it more down below, but for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 4 this week, we've got Images, 8 Billion Genies, issue number 5. And this week, we've got coming in at number 3, this is Boom Studios, House of Slaughter, issue number 9. This is cover A. And I'll tell you what, everyone, this actually might be my favorite issue of the entire House of Slaughter series so far. Now, I will be honest, the first volume, there's not a lot of competition there because that volume is pretty bad in my opinion. This new volume I think is fantastic. I really like Edwin as a character, and I will be honest with you guys, I know it is a little bit on the slower side. They're building up this character. We're learning a lot more info about him. It definitely doesn't have the action and the pacing like Something is Killing the Children, but I'm intrigued. I'm interested in Edwin. I'm interested in learning more about him and everything that's just revolved around him and the mask that he has. With this issue, though, I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it. I want you guys to experience this read on your own. We learn almost his entire backstory between him and just his monster. The monster has a bigger effect on him than he's realized over these years, and so much stuff has been happening with him that he doesn't even realize. It was a crazy issue. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, you got to experience this one for yourselves. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 3 this week. This is Boom Studios' House of Slaughter, issue number 9. And here we go. We are down to the top 2 issues of the week. So coming in at number 2, we've got Images, The Department of Truth, issue number 21. This is cover A. I love this series so much. It is phenomenal. James Tynion IV is such a great writer, and I love everything he's doing on this series. Even all of those issues that didn't have anything to do with the main plot, just some of those side stories, he killed it on those. And now that we're back on track with the main plot line, it is a phenomenal top-notch series right now. In this one in particular, we're in Fort Knox. We're learning about all the secrets that are within Fort Knox. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with all of that, but the crazy thing is as I'm reading this, I still don't know who to believe. I don't know who's on whose side. Everybody seems to be recruiting the other person to gain some sort of leverage as well. I absolutely love it. Grab those trade paperbacks. I talk about it all the time. Let me know what you think about the series down below. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 2. This is Images, The Department of Truth, issue number 21. And here we go, everyone. This is it, my top read of the week. So we've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is DC's The Nice House on the Lake, issue number 10. This is cover B. James Tynion IV coming in hot this week, taking the top 3 spots for my reads. He is on fire, and there's a reason I keep hyping him up, because he is killing it on everything that he is writing right now. This series, I'm so happy it's back. I love this one as well. Without getting too in-depth with it, this issue, we get so much info. We learn so much different stuff, and you need to experience this one yourself. We get left on a crazy cliffhanger as well. Everything that Walter has been up to, we see some of the other characters and how they've all been playing a part in Walter's thing this entire time. Such a solid read. So absolutely, as much as I love those other issues, this one is taking the crown this week at number 1. We've got DC's The Nice House on the Lake, issue number 10. And that's a wrap on this week's top 10 list of books, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment down below what your top read of the week was and which ones you think I missed out on. And thanks for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of my latest releases. And I've got 2 YouTube shorts sitting off to the side here that you should definitely check out next. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.